What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Opinions of a D2 Dropout. I am your resident D2 Dropout, Brentar. As you can see, I am now in a comfy chair, no longer in the metal chair. So, means more content will be rolling out on the YouTube channel as I am now comfortable. Means more streams because I'm no longer hurting sitting in that chair. But let's get to the point of the podcast. We got some sports to talk about. Currently, I am having the Diamondbacks game on as I'm recording this. They're in game 3 down 2-0 to the Phillies. Since I did just mention baseball, currently right now on the AL side, the Astros won game 3 yesterday, making the series 2-1 Rangers. Game 4 will be tonight as this video goes live or the pod goes up, whatever you're listening to. So it will be interesting to see how that rolls. But got other sports to talk about. Glad to see baseball is in full swing. 2 wildcard teams, honestly, for the NL side. Pray my Diamondbacks can do well. Not much other baseball news. I do believe playoffs are going on. Game 3 is currently going on 0-0 at the time of recording. 8 o'clock. Texas Astros should be a good game. But they also announced today the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee nominees for the Hall of Fame Class of 24. Bill White, Executive NL President from 89 to 94. Joe West, umpire for 43 seasons, umpired 5,460 games. Lou Pinarillo, I'm definitely butchered that name. Manager, he won 1,835 games and was the 1990 World Series champs. Hank Peters, executive, 42 years, 1983 World Series champs. You have Ed Montenegro, umpire, I believe. 34 seasons, umpired 4,369 nice games in the MLB. Tito Gaston, manager, won 894 games, won the 92-93 World Series. Davey Johnson, manager, won 1,372 games, won the 86 World Series. And then the one that I know the best, took the Tigers the distance. Jim Leyland, manager, won 1,769 games. Nice. Won the 1997 World Series and helped the Tigers make it to the World Series for the first time since the 80s, back in 2006. I gotta give it up to Leland. Hell of a manager. Got the Tigers back on the roll. Voting results will be announced December 3rd. So this votes from former managers, exec, umpires who primarily contribute from the game coming since 1980. So as long as they were after 1980, they were part of this. But that's pretty much it for the baseball side. There is some breaking news for a Michigan fan here. The NCAA is investigating Michigan for allegedly sending people. Let me find it. For sign stealing. This is Spygate 2.0. The NCAA is investigating the number 2 Michigan Wolverine football program amidst allegations of sign stealing. That's a heavy price. So you can watch film. That's legal. So the NCAA, which says it would not comment on the investigation, does not have rules specifically against stealing signs, but does prohibit in-person advanced scouting of opponents and has bylaws prohibiting unsportsmanlike activities. According to the Yahoo report, Michigan allegedly had people attend games of future opponents as well as possible college football playoff opponents to gather information on signs to call plays on offense and defense. A source confirmed to ESPN that in person scouting is the focus of the NCAA investigation. If true, the Wolverines would have violated NCAA bylaw 11.6.1, which states off campus in person scouting of future opponents in the same season is prohibited. And you know it's bad when Vegas has the sports books possibly pulling Michigan bets. So it's going to be interesting. This Sunday, we do have the backyard brawl, Michigan versus Michigan State. Normally, this game has a lot of hype, but Michigan State having fired Mel Tucker for the hotel room incident. Um, and Michigan State just not having a good season. It feels like a letdown after last year's game. So not a lot of hype, and now Michigan might be cheating. So it's so much fun being a Michigan fan. You know? Moving on, NHL is in full swing. Let's take a look at the standings. We do have games tonight. My Coyotes do play at the time of recording in about 2 hours. Looking at the standings, things are in flow. Like we're only a couple games in. Some teams have played 4. You look at Boston and the Islanders who've only played 2. Looking at the Blue Jackets, the Stars also at 2. The Ducks have only played 2. But they got the Kraken, Golden Knights, Blackhawks, Nashville, Carolina, Penguins, My Wings, Senators, and Lightning have all played 4 games. So right now, Ottawa, Detroit, Carolina are 3-1, along with the LA Kings and the Flames, all 3-1. Let me just go by the conference, by division. Senators lead the Atlantic technically because of their goal differential. Ottawa is at 3-1 with 6 points. Wings 3-1 with 6 points. Boston, having played 2 games, is 2-0, staying with 4 points. Maple Leafs played 3 games, are 2-1, staying at 4. Montreal, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie, sitting at 3. Tampa Bay, 1-2-1, yikes, with 3 points. And Florida, 1-2 with 2 points, and the Sabres 1-2. Heading over to the Metro. Carolina sitting at 3-1. Islanders 2-0. Rangers 2-1. Flyers 2-1. Pittsburgh is 2-2. Devils 1-1-1. After beating the Wings, losing to Coyotes. Apparently, they lost another game. Because the Coyotes one was an overtime loss for the Devils. Columbus sitting at 1-2, and the Capitals 1-2. And into the Western Conference, the Central. You have Colorado sitting at 6 points, 3-0. The Wild 2-1 at 4. Blackhawks 2-2 at 4. St. Louis 1-0-1 at 3 points. So are the Stars at 1-0-1 with 3. Jets have 2 points at 1-2. My Coyotes are sitting at 1-2. Nashville sitting at 1-3. Yikes. And over to the Pacific. You have the reigning, defending Stanley Cup champions at 4-0 to start the season with 8 points. Vancouver is 2-1 with 4 points. LA Kings sitting at 1-1-1. So are the Flames. Both of them have 3 points. The Ducks are 1-1, sitting with 2 points. Edmonton's 1-2 with McDavid. Wow, sitting at 2 points. It is early in the season. Sharks are 0-2 with an overtime loss, so 1 point. And the Kraken, having played 4 games, is 0-3-1, sitting with 1 point and a minus 10 goal differential. Yikes. Not a lot going on. Looking over at the wing side, Alex DeBrincat looks to be the happiest he has been in a long time. Like, I'm happy for him. I'm glad. He is sitting in first for the league in points with 8. Goalies played for 1 or more games so far. James Remier has the best 8% of goals allowed, staying at 0 since he's only goalied one game for the Wings. Yeah, looking at the top 3 point getters, the Brinkett sits at 8, Drysdale sits at 7, and Evgeny Malkin at 7 are your top 3 for points. Goal leader, no surprise, Austin Matthews, who literally in the first 2 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs has 2 hat tricks. So he's sitting at 6 goals. The Brinkett sits at 5, and Leon Draisaitl with 4 is in a 3-way tie with not a 3-way tie. It's a 7-way tie for third with Brock Bozer for Vancouver, Chris Kreider for the Rangers, Brady Kachuk, Brendan Hagel, a Lightning, Pavu for the Hurricanes. I'm not even going to attempt that last name, and Braden Russ of the Penguins. Assist is led by Elson Pettersson of Vancouver, John Tavares, Maple Leafs, Dylan Larkin, Jack Getzel, Brady Sajay. Messing that one up. That's Zuccarello. All these guys have 5 assists on the season. Leading rookies in points is Logan Cooley of my Arizona Coyotes, leading defenseman, the Brady Soja. I'm going to attempt that name. Butchering it. But NHL's in full motion. Good to see. Not much news going on, just more like the injuries and who's playing who. Should be fun. Should be interesting. Let's go check the fantasy. We do have a Thursday night game tonight over on football as we near the end of this segment. Oh, there is NASCAR to talk about. So let's talk about that instead. Then we'll jump to the King. We'll talk about my predictions and wrap it up from there. So last weekend was the Las Vegas race. First race of the round of 8. Kyle Larson wins, punching his ticket to Phoenix. In that race, other playoff drivers, William Byron finished second. Oh, sorry. That's not. Well, that's the playoff standings. So, Kyle Larson won the race. Christopher Bell, hard charging, finishes second. Kyle Busch comes home third. Brad K fourth. Ross Chastain fifth. Ryan Blaney sixth. Byron seventh. Tyler Reddick eighth. Martin Truex Jr. ninth. And Denny Hamlin. Other notable finishers for this. Sorry, looking up on my phone. Other notable playoff finishers: Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher. My bad. Wow, finished 11th. So coming out of that race, the biggest controversy was 6th place finisher Ryan Blaney. On Sunday, so the top 3 get get the normal inspection, and then for the playoffs, they inspect all the cars more, just like the template, like how the weight, do they fit the laser scan, all that. Like it's not a full in-depth inspection like they do the top 3. But a sensor came back that Ryan Blaney's left front spring was low, which breaks the rule. So NASCAR that night hands down a penalty. Blaney finishes dead last for being disqualified, putting him 56 points in the hole with 2 races to go in this round. Then Tuesday rolls around and NASCAR comes out and says we have rescinded the disqualification of Ryan Blaney. The reason for this, NASCAR goes in more depth if you want to learn, but apparently they had some issues on their side. So Blaney apparently didn't do anything wrong. I'm not sure. I didn't really look into it. I just find it funny that NASCAR more backed down and went, we're in the wrong. So Blaney's now back to being minus 19. Still in a must win looking at it. So the only one that's secured for Phoenix is Kyle Larson. William Byron is sitting second. heading into this weekend's race at Homestead, Miami, you have William Byron sitting second with +9, Martin Truex Jr. at a +2, Denny Hamlin +2, their teammate Christopher Bell on the outside looking in at -2, Tyler Reddick sitting at -16, Ryan Blaney sitting at -17, and Chris Buescher at -23. Honestly, all three of them. Yeah. All Reddick, Blaney, Buescher have to go for points, but they're also pretty much in a must win. So they're in a lose lose in my opinion. Like it's just gonna be tough for them. But yeah. Let's move on to the NFL. I need to check my fantasy after this recording. The last week, I did tell you to go Kansas City. We got that one right. I did say Baltimore was going to beat Tennessee. Got that one right. Commanders over the Falcons. I said go the Commanders, which is still weird to say. Told you to take the Bengals. They won. Browns over the 49ers. Did I pick them? I think I said the 49ers. I think that one's wrong. It's not showing me properly. I think I made picks this week. Oh well. Heading into this week, we got a lot of interesting games. Some news going in. Garoppolo for the Raiders will not play against the Bears. Barkley has come out and said he doesn't want the Giants to trade him. Jags coach does expect Trevor Lawrence, who has the aggravated knee, to start tonight against the Saints. Sean Watson finally returns to practice. And rookie sensation for the Colts, Anthony Richardson, to have season-ending shoulder surgery. So, kind of tough there. Whew. Kind of tough. So let's make some picks. So tonight, knowing that Trevor Lawrence will be playing, even though his knee is bugging him, I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville. Raiders, Bears, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Even without Jimmy Garoppolo, it sounds like Justin Fields won't be back for this game. Even though it is in Chicago. Give me the Raiders. And also, Mikey, if you do watch this episode, I'm sorry, but next Monday night you will lose. I think you know where I'm going with that. You play my Lions, you will lose. Next 1 o'clock game, we have the Cleveland Browns going up against the Indianapolis Colts. And he's at 3-2. The Browns are 3. Colts are 3-3. Browns are 3-2. With Deshaun returning, I'm gonna go with the Browns just because I don't know who the backup is for the Colts. Wait, Gardner Minshew. Give me more Gardner Minshew. Give me Gardner Minshew. I'm not a fan of Deshaun. So yeah, give me Gardner Minshew. I think the Colts will win this one. Moving on, we got the Bills heading to the Patriots. Bills easy. Commanders versus Giants. Washington's easy. Next 1 o'clock game, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on Tampa Bay. I saw both these teams. Tampa Bay is the better team, in my opinion. They just got steamrolled by the Lions wearing the creamsicles. So definitely think they're going to try to bounce back at home. Then we got honestly an interesting game. You have the Detroit Unstoppable Lions at this time going into Baltimore to face the Ravens returning from London. Normally, teams get the bye after London. So, as much as I see that this could be a game that the Lions do lose, because we just gotta look back 2 years ago and watch as Justin Tucker hit a 66-yard field goal. Pain, and more pain. That's all I remember for that game. But I do think with them coming back from London, they're going to be more of a jet lag team. It's going to be harder for them to do anything. But that, give me the Lions, 6-1. Coming into Monday night, back at Ford Field, debuting the blue helmets. It will be interesting. But yeah, got my Lions. Moving on, we got the Steelers heading to the Rams for a 4 o'clock game. Give me Stafford. He has Cooper Cup and that Puka, however you say it, wide receivers. I think he's going to be deadly with them now. Honestly, I could see the Rams making a little bit to be better. In the next 4 o'clock game, the Arizona tanking Cardinals taking on Seattle. That one's just a no-brainer. Cardinals, even though they don't need Caleb Williams, they are still in tank mode. It's not hard to see that they're without Kyler Murray. Even if they don't go for Caleb Williams, they are not without. They're still missing their top QB. So it's just the easier choice going with the team that actually has a decent starting QB over a back. Next 4 o'clock game, we got the Green Bay Packers heading to the Malaha Stadium in Denver. As much as it pains me to say, I do think the Packers win. It pains me to say that. But Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, they don't look like they're on the same page. They're sitting at 1-5. Packers aren't much better. They're 2-3, but like that just pains me to say go Pack. Ugh. I need to wash my mouth out after this. Going on, we got the not the San Diego Chargers. They moved. The LA Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, I would love to pick the Chargers. I think Herbert's an amazing QB. But their head coach cannot stay out of his own way. Like last year, I am Mike Williams when you didn't need to in week 17. This week, going for it when you don't need to. They're just making stupid mistakes. So, give me the Chiefs. An amazing Sunday night football game. We have the Miami Dolphins heading into Philly to take on the Eagles. I know the Eagles are the home team. They got that brotherly shove, the push that they have. But the Dolphins team seems to be clicking on all cylinders. And honestly, for me, rooting against the Eagles and the 49ers only helped the Lions. So give me the Dolphins. Dolphins are a good team. I can see that one coming out. And then we got a god awful Monday night game where the San Francisco 49ers go to take on the Minnesota Vikings. This one's a no brainer. The Vikings are just god awful, so give me the Niners, even though I want to root against the Niners. It's rooting against the Packers. I mean, the Vikings, which is better. Helps out the line division wise, but like, Vikings are just, they're not good. So, those are my picks for the week. Any other breaking news probably will come out in a video wise that I'll talk about. But other than that, we got the F1 races here in America coming up shortly. Vegas is apparently really hating the idea of the street race because it's just messing all travel up. Oh yeah, didn't want to mention this before we do end that Sergio Perez is 100% certain for the 2024 Red Bull seat, and Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, and Rory McIlroy invest in the Alpine Racing. They have invested, become part owners, which only helps them. Belgium GP has been extended for a year, so we will have Spa up until 2025, which is great. So pretty much all the stuff I can think about that I want to talk about. Talk about Michigan. We covered the NHL. I gave you my picks. Football is king. Football is life. Go Lions. Watching my Diamondbacks, currently bottom of the fifth, 0-0. So, see how this game goes out. I'll definitely talk about it next week. They're just showing a montage of last time the Diamondbacks won back in 01. But I'll catch you all in the next video. Videos will be pumping out now that I'm in a I'm out of that god awful chair and into an amazing chair. I'll catch you all later. Peace.